Welcome everyone to our 2020 Remembrance Day Assembly at Smallwood Academy. Today we remember all those brave men and women who volunteered, sacrificed, fought, and died for our peace and freedoms. We also remember those who are still risking their lives around our world in the name of our peace and freedom. Thank you. We can never say it enough. Our kindergarten to grade 12 students at Smallwood Academy will present crosses in memory of some of the soldiers who fought, are still fighting, and some that have died in the name of peace. Because of COVID-19 regulations, we cannot have a regular assembly this year. We miss having people from our community with us today, but we want to reassure our families, our veterans, that we have not forgotten, that we will never forget.
Well, how do you do, Private William McBride? You mind if I sit here down by your graveside? And I'll rest for a while 'neath the warm summer sun. Been walking all day, and I'm nearly done. See by your gravestone you were only 19 when you joined the great fallen in 1915. And I hope you died well, and I hope you died clean. For Willie McBride wasn't slow and obscene. Did they beat the drum slowly? They sound the fife lowly, and the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down. Then the band played the last post and chorus, and the pipes played the flowers of the forest.
22 known soldiers from Gambo served in World War I and in Royal Newfoundland Regiment. These are the survivors. Charles Brown, Regiment number 8032, cross carried by Jasmine Neal. Robert Brown, Regiment number 5720, cross carried by Jordan Brown. Archibald Bursey, regiment number 2290, cross carried by Lucas Russell. Harry J. Carter, regiment number 2193, cross carried by Gavin Kelly. Gregory Cashin, regiment number 4209, cross carried by Chloe Beckett. Samuel Cross, regiment number 2604, cross carried by Darcy Wade. James Davis, regiment number 5723, cross carried by Michael Taylor. Daniel Eastman, regiment number 2510, cross carried by Alessa Gill.
Did you leave a wife and sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined? And though you died back in 1915, in some faithful heart will you be ever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, enshrined forever behind a glass pane? In an old photograph, torn and tattered and stained, fading to yellow in a brown leather frame. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound a fife lowly to the rifle's fire organ as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
Charles Forsey, regiment number 3651, cross carried by Brooklyn Bixby. John Forsey, regiment number 4433, cross carried by Logan Gibbons. Sylvester Golding, regiment number 1487, cross carried by Brandon Elliott. Abraham Golding, regiment number 1778, cross carried by Lily Delaney. Henry Thomas Granter, regiment number 2190, cross carried by Ashley Granter. George Lush, regiment number 4779, cross carried by Georgia Rose. Benjamin Saunders, regiment number 8319, cross carried by Colby Taylor.
The sun shining down on these green fields of France. The warm wind blows gently as the red poppies dance. The trenches have vanished long under the plow. No gas, no barbed wire, no guns firing now. But here in this graveyard, it's still no man's land. The countless white crosses in mute witness stand to man's blind indifference to his fellow man, to whole generation who were butchered and damned. Did they beat the drum slowly? did they sound the fife lowly? Did the riflers fire as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
Peter Sullivan, Regiment Number 1483, cross carried by Aaliyah Pritchett. Ernest Stead, Regiment Number 2338, cross carried by Jackson Stockley. Five of these brave soldiers from Gambo were killed in action during World War I. William Garland Ivany, Regiment Number 1476, cross carried by Tanika Pritchett. Daniel Kelly, Regiment Number 2297, cross carried by Emily Gullen. Daniel J. Moss, Regiment Number 2657, cross carried by Nolan Pritchett. Cecil Osmond, Regiment Number 2512, cross carried by Erica Purdy. Cecil Squires, Regiment Number 3353, cross carried by Mason Ralph. More than 100 years after World War I, we are still forced by conflict and circumstances to remember soldiers that have died to preserve our peace and freedoms. Patrice Vincent, cross carried by Alana Ralph Snow. Nathan Sorello, cross carried by Liam Hender.
And I can't help but wonder now, Billy McBride, to all those who lie here who know why they died. Did you really believe them when they told you the cause? Did you really believe that this war would end wars? Well, the suffering, the sorrow, the glory, the shame, the killing, the dying, it was all done in vain. For Willie McBride, it all happened again and again, and again, and again. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound the fife slowly? Did the rifles fire or as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
The Canadian Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is located before the National War Memorial in Ottawa, Ontario. It was a project begun by the Royal Canadian Legion. The tomb was added to the War Memorial in 2000 and holds the remains of an unidentified Canadian soldier who died in France during World War I. The soldier was selected from a cemetery in the vicinity of Vimy Ridge, the site of a very famous Canadian battle. Two kindergarten students will bring forth the cross of the unknown soldier, Macy Boland and Jacob Waterman.
Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound the fife slowly? Did the rifles fire on as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last hopes and chords? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
We offer now a moment of silence in honor of and respect to Remembrance Day.
among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
to our wonderful students from kindergarten to grade 12 for participating in our beautiful ceremony today. Thank you also to Mr. Natman for his great singing and to Mr. Bennett for the video recording. Please stay safe and wear your poppy on this very important day, Remembrance Day. Thank you so much.